Hello, welcome to Regular Achievers Educational Limited presenting Royal Tutors, your trusted support for brain-friendly, high-impact learning. Today we will be looking at 10 top 10 quotes that can help you in your GCSE exam to achieve a grade 9 essay, and we'll be looking at A Christmas Carol. We're looking at the theme Greed, Isolation, Poverty, and Redemption. In this lesson, we are going to help you understand how they can use its language, structure, symbolism, and context to explore greed, isolation, poverty, and redemption. We're also going to be taking you through the three RMR's revision hack that can help you write and analyze essays with flair. The three R revision hacks are reference, reveal, and relate. For the reference, you should be able to quote accurately and set the context. Now, for reveal, you should be able to identify the techniques, which are the language, the structure, the forms, the symbolism, and so on. In the quote you've chosen, you should be able to interpret or analyze the techniques that are available in that quote. Now, for relate, you should be able to explain the effect on reader, the theme, and the society. Now, for tips, you are to memorize at most 10 quotes word for word because perception ends perception. All right, for the first quote we'll be seeing today is bar humbug, and you can see this in stave 1. Here, they can introduce Scrooge as cold, dismissive, and emotionally detached. The language here is exclamation and interjection. The effect is it sharpens tone, mirrors irritation and cynicism, and this defines Scrooge's contempt for emotion. Now we'll have a structure device here, and it is the opening dialogue, and its immediate immersion reveals character and tone for the first line. The symbolism here is a rejection of joy effect. It mirrors his inner emptiness and greed. We're going to be zooming in the word harsh explosive sound, which are the b and the g in bar and Hamburg. Alright, so the effect is that it emphasizes hostility and emotional harshness. We're going to zoom out the industrial London at that time, and the effect is it reflects the Victorian self-interest and capitalist detachment. For forms, we have the allegorical or allegorical and novel or novella. The effect is that Scrooge represents societal moral decay, and for exams link, you can use this to answer the question that on how does Scrooge present how does Dickens, I beg your pardon, present Scrooge as cold and unfeeling. The next quote is, are there no prison? Are there no workhouses? And you can find this in stave 1. Now here, they can expose the cruelty of institutional indifference. We have rhetorical question here, which highlights Scrooge's moral blindness and sarcasm. And for structural device, we have repetition, which creates emphasis, and redeeming quality, echoing bureaucracy. For symbol, we have the prison and workhouse, which stands for societal failure to care for the poor. We're zooming in on are there no, which suggests or reveals mechanical phrasing stripping people of humanity. Then we also have the zooming or zooming in or zooming out of the Victorian context, which condemns the poor law and society and social injustice. And for form, we have the social satire, which focuses readers to reflect on their moral responsibility. Now, you can use this particular quote and analysis to answer the question, how does Dickens use Scrooge to criticize social inequality? Okay, for quote 3, we have, I wear the chain I forged in life. Here, Dickens wants that selfishness and greed forge one's spiritual downfall. Here we have the metaphor, that is, guilt becomes physical and haunting, vividly visual. It becomes physical and haunting, which is a vividly visual. Now, for the structured device we use, we have the foreshadowing, which warns Scrooge and the reader of consequences. Then the chains represent greed, unescapable weight. Are also going to be zooming in the verb forged. This shows each sin of a person is self-made.